What's good, guys? Welcome back to our end of the week analysis, right? Thank God that we're wrapping up this week because this week was extremely hectic. Right, I'm joined by a good friend of mine. Leo's here again. Say what's up, Leo.
Hello, hello. Hey,
How you doing, Leo?
how you doing? Okay, this week was definitely a pain to read, and I hope next week's press action will be a little better.
Yeah. Me and you both right there, man. Very, very tough week. I took a early win followed by early loss, and then got something else back for at the end of the week that we'll be sharing with you guys. Did you trade anything, Leo, at all?
Just a few small demo trades, nothing really worth sharing.
Mm, that was smart. Trading on a demo, I gotta learn from you. But yeah, as you guys can see, we had hella like a lot of news this week. So let's get started wrapping it up. All right. Let's get started with Dixie first.
All right, dollar index on a daily. So we're still in a little consolidation range following last week's price action. There's a bit more expansion moves compared to last week. Last week was in a very tight range. As you can see early in the week here, Monday, Tuesday, we ran down. We took a little bit of sell side out and into a daily bullish order block. And we see price quickly move away from that into Wednesday, taking out buy side on Thursday and Friday, as we highlighted in the last video. We had 106,670 highlighted. The price was a little bit more dramatic and ran a little bit higher, taking out this second pull up buy side out before retracing lower to the end of the week. So on the 1 hour, as you can see again, um, early in the week, Monday into Tuesday, we dollar expanded lower, taking out this pull. We run into this daily bullish order block and expand very quickly and efficiently away from it, or rather inefficiently. There's a lot of gaps here, but we did run away from it very quickly. And this reaction is very telltale for higher prices. And as you can see how price reuses this gap, this imbalance on the daily in here, this quadrant here, this upper quadrant, we run up from Tuesday into Wednesday, touching the top of that. Look at the bodies respecting the high here, running into 50% of it and bouncing off of that into Wednesday. And order flow is pretty bullish into the end of the week with a little bit of retracement on Friday to end it off. It's a little choppy in here, not great, but this was pretty decent. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say on dollar. My draw for next week would be 107,348 up here, this buy side pull here. So right now there's nothing to really say for bearishness on the dollar.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you there, Leo. Let me hop back onto
Oh, my bad.
um Dixie really quick. Right. Oops. Yeah. Dixie really quick. If you guys didn't see the first video of the week, right? We did give a little cover or we gave our outlook on Dixie, right? I did remember us saying that Dixie wanted to go for buy side. However, I said that for these lows down here, they were a little too clean, in my opinion, that I wanted to see him kind of run through it. And I didn't expect, like I don't think any of us expected Monday to move so dynamically when there was no news on Monday. Right. So that definitely surprised me. And that basically told me like, okay, this week was gonna be a little bit crazy. Right. And then as soon as Dixie ran lower, right, you can obviously assume that the other EU, GU ran higher. Right. So this was a very, very interesting day. I did catch a EU trade here. I'll show you guys right here. Right. So for EU here on the hour time frame, we see that there is buy side here that we had noted out, right? And then we had sell side as well, just in case for them to, if they wanted to run sell side and then run buy side, they could do that. But obviously for EU, following Dixie, right? Dixie ran those lows, EU ran these highs, right? These buy sides here, this was a previous week's high. This was like the beginning of October's monthly high here, right? Obviously, we traded through that. So both buy sides were taken out when obviously if you guys saw your charts, it was followed by a heavy sell-off, right? Let's go into the 15-minute. So I did take a trade here, and I want to show you guys what I kind of want to see what you guys want to see, right? This is a little segment that ICT does a lot, and I actually really enjoyed it when I was a student, or I'm still a student. But when I was like watching his videos, I really enjoyed this segment where I would try to see what he saw, right? So I'll give you guys about like two to 5 seconds just so you guys you pause the video, take a look at it, and then we'll continue off from this segment here. Okay, you guys did not pause the video. This is your last chance because I'm going on to the next slide. So here's the 15-minute charts. Like you guys can see, there's a nice bullish order block here. Midnight New York, price opens, drops lower, runs a little bit of sell side, right? Followed by a nice move higher. You could enter here, right? I do understand if you guys didn't want to, due to like sell side below here, these lows here, right? Basically Friday/Sunday lows right here. Right. So if you guys didn't want to take this one, that's fine. You guys want to wait for more confirmation, that's fine too. Right. But then we see price really run aggressively here, right? Comes up, stops short of the buy side of previous week's high, drops back down into level of discount, trades right into that inefficiency there. That could be your entry here. Right. And if this is your entry, I'll recommend you putting your stop probably below that low there. Right. Or if you want to be more safe, you guys could put it below this low. But I think this low here would be perfect for you guys to put that stop there, right? And obviously your target would be this buy side here, right? So then price runs higher, trickles higher, trades right back down into the high of the inefficiency, right? It's perfect, right? You can see that, trades right into that perfectly, reacts off that, shoots right above and takes out buy side here, right? And so when you see it takes out buy side, especially previous weekly high, it's very important for you guys to take partials, right? Because institutions and banks, a lot of them are trading off the daily time frame, right? And this is technically a daily high, but it's also a weekly high. That's why I put PWH, right? Previous week's high, right? So once price trades above it, I do recommend you guys trying to take at least, if not all, your position off, right? Obviously there's this big second move higher, but before this big move, it has a quick stop run below, back into this, takes out the stops there, trades back into this inefficiency here, and then finally dynamically runs above this high and continues higher, right? And if you guys are, if once price takes out this high here, I don't really recommend you guys trying to get in and try to catch the rest of this run, because you never know, it might do another stop run, because like I said, this week was very hectic and this was only Monday. So don't try to hold this for, because look, this all happened on Monday, which was very crazy, especially when Monday had no news, right? Because they could have stopped price here, consolidated, either send another try higher, and then just sank this lower. Sorry guys, that's my Discord, not yours. Sank this lower, running into sell side here, right? Even clearing out these if they really wanted to before running higher again, using all that liquidity, right? So let's move on from the 15-minute. Right, we have GU 1 hour. So in my personal opinion, I really like the GU 1 hour a lot more, just because there was a lot more favor that there's buy side here, inefficiency up there, equilibrium of the range was here as well, right? So for me, price came down here, right? Perfectly rebalances that, right? And then tries to get up but doesn't. Price then runs lower again, creates a stop run, right? I'll show you guys this on a lower time frame, right? You guys don't want to just like, oh, put your stop loss here. My entry was here, but my stop loss wasn't here, right? Does it make sense? Well, I'll put my stop there, but yeah, my entry was here, but my stop loss was not there, right? So then price comes down here, fills this in right here, stop run, runs higher aggressively, trades in the buy side here. Like I said, I recommend you guys taking partial when it comes up, because this is a previous day's high, Thursday high to be exact. Weekly highs here, resting here. Price runs really aggressively, right? You guys don't even need to worry about the next moves. Just as soon as it takes out these buy sides, you guys should probably be out of the trade, right? Moving on from GU, going down to lower time, take a deeper dive here, right? You guys see that? That was a perfect entry there. You guys can get right there. Your stop is not going to be here. Okay, your stop should be probably below this low here, right? If it runs below this low, then you can be sidelined, just because, like I said, there's a lot of news, right? So for Monday, I wasn't really trying to take too much. So once price started trading higher, I just caught my like 15, 20 pips and I got out. So this is just a hypothetical situation where you can take this buy here. You guys would sit through a little bit of drawdown. Your stop will be here. Come up here, trade out to buy side, and you get out the trade, right? Like I said, Monday was very like I didn't expect money to have big movement, but it did. So it kind of threw me off of my trading game, in my opinion. Did you demo any of this at all, Leo?
No.
No? No worries, no worries. It was just Monday, so let's get over. Oh yeah, go ahead, Leo. Crude oil.
All right, so crude oil daily, pretty good price action this week. Actually, debatable, but it did have good price action in regards to the PD arrays. So I know it consolidated this week, but it seems to be accumulating with the dollar in SMT. As you can see later in the 4 hour, I'll have more PD arrays drawn out for you, but it did react off a 4 hour level, using it as quote unquote support. And I'm expecting crude oil next week to rally higher into premium. All right, next slide. Oops. All right, this is crude oil 4 hour. As you can see, there are a little bit more PD arrays on this chart. So this is the daily imbalance I marked out last video being used again. Crude oil in here was very sticky and kind of just worked inside that daily imbalance high and low range for the week. However, I didn't want it to note that for our bullish order block level there, around 83.20 something, you can see price, the bodies are respecting that level. And there's also higher lows in conjunction with dollar. Dollar made a lower low into the new week, as we saw in the earlier slides, and crude oil was making higher lows. So this in conjunction with the bullish order block shows me that there might be higher time frame accumulation going on the daily. And so we'll see what happens early into next week. Next week has a lot of news as well, so I wouldn't be surprised if crude oil had dramatic movement. Did you have anything to add, Alan?
Nah, I didn't really take a look at crude oil. I kind of liked your analysis with it, right? We did say crude oil was going to be more bearish, but it looks like it just kind of consolidated for this week a little bit. But yeah, let's see what it does coming into next week. Let's see. What's the next one? Who's next one? Is that me? Oh, that's you. Go for it, Leo.
All right, so this is E-mini S&P 500 futures on the daily chart. This week was extremely animated towards the downside, exceeding my liquidity targets, which was drawn out on last video, 423.550 and 420.450, eventually drawing into these lows here at 4155. We traded past that a little bit into this buy side imbalance, sell side efficiency here, highlighted in a little bit of purple. We'll get into a lower time frame later and talk about this. For next week, I'm still looking into a little bit of discount. I would like to see how price trades into this fair value gap here, this SIBI, sell side imbalance, buy side efficiency here. See how price reacts if it does get down in here. With a higher dollar, I suspect it might, but we'll see because we had such a big animated move this week. It might get a little choppy. Notable things is this imbalance here. I will note this later on as we get into the lower time frame, and this imbalance 4211 and 4185. We'll see how price reacts here. I used the top of this body because there is a volume imbalance here with no body over it. So I consider this the whole imbalance, sell side imbalance, buy side efficiency. Moving on to the 4 hour. All right, so we see how price runs up, goes lower, takes out sell side early into the week. This is a little bit of inducement here. Some people may have had itchy fingers to try to short this early in the week. They got stopped out if they did into this run here, into this imbalance we talked about on the daily. I really like how it didn't completely fill it in here. This wick is the upper quadrant of this imbalance. and really reacted strongly and just rolled over into the um, end of the week. So I really like how we didn't even get into this imbalance here. So very heavy on ES, and um, this imbalance here, I'll be watching into next week. It may be used, maybe not, but I am still looking downward. I like how the bodies here respected the 50% level of the imbalance I talked about earlier on the daily chart. And yeah, it was a pretty animated week. Lots of room to get messed up though. The market was really tricky on this, especially on this Monday move. It moved a lot and it almost exceeded my targets really early into the week. So that's why I was mainly sidelined because I didn't know how far the futures would move this week. However, it's very apparent in hindsight that it was reaching way, way lower. Yeah, that's it for me. Do you have anything to add, Alan?
Yeah. Let me go back to the daily. So I really did like the fact that they left this imbalance open. Due to that, there will be heavy news next week. I do want to see what they want to start the week off with, right? I either wanted to see them run higher into this inefficiency or this imbalance here, right? And then trading lower, or trade lower first and then run into that for the rest of the week, right? Because at the moment, it did look like they came up here, attacked that imbalance right there, inefficiency there, left that breakaway gap there, right? Traded a lot deeper, right? Left a lot of buy side, in my opinion. So if they're able to come back up, trade up into a short term premium, and then drop lower, right? Targeting these lower targets here, I think that would be ideal. And it would also mean that it would probably continue going bearish for a lot longer, right? Because if they come up and feel that they come up and kind of feel that inefficiency here, efficiently trade in this level here, and then drop lower, yeah, it looks like it could be bearish for a lot longer. But if they, drop lower here and then start running higher, then maybe we can be a little bit more, it wouldn't be too bad to go a little bit more to become bullish after this run lower. All right, but let's go on into NAS. So on the NAS 1 hour, I got burned this week in the beginning of the week, right? Obviously, this is the following day where I was able to catch this short here after this trade up into it, right? So price traded higher, traded up into the daily imbalance constant encroachment, drops lower. Wasn't able to catch that, of course. Why we just waited, saw the inversion there, dropped it out. If you look at that high there, trades perfectly into that this high, this inversion here. But obviously I entered price here due to this little inefficiency here and this inversion here, right? I saw the price traded nicely in this, and I didn't want them to see it break through it. So my stop was above this inversion gap here, right? Price trades up into it, respects it perfectly, drops lower, right? And as soon as this dropped lower, I just collapsed my trade just because I was like, okay, I took my L the day before. I was able to catch this trade. I'm gonna call it a day here, right? Obviously in hindsight, we saw that price continue dropping lower, but this was what I was able to catch, and that was more than enough for me. More than enough for me for the hour. So I'll go lower in time frame just to show you guys a little bit more detail. Right. So this is the inversion fair value gap there. Price drops lower, trades above this high, trades into above this high too, trades in this inefficiency here, as you can see. That's where my short was at. Shorted that, put my stop above this level here. Right, saying, okay, if it wants to take above this, then it might come up high, trade into this wick or trade into the daily imbalance low here. Right. But it did not do that, which was good. Right. Price then drops lower. And as soon as 9:30 opens, sends this thing straight lower. As soon as it sends this lower, I was like, get me out of this trade, get me out, got me out of that trade, even though my target was a little bit lower. But like I said, I didn't want to mess around too much just because there was so much news that who knows, they could have sent this lower and then run this higher right back up into these levels here. I've seen them do it before. I don't want to be part of that. Right. Very, very simple on NAS 15-minute. Right. Moving on from NAS. Right. I mean, still NAS, but this was my last trade of the week. Right. So after that 15-minute NAS trade, I was done. This is obviously Friday, right? Friday PM session. This is a 5 minute bearish breaker. I was able to see. I didn't really trade anything else on Friday besides this. Right, price runs lower. I still see shallow run into sell side here. Price run, excuse me, price runs higher here for the PM, drops lower. See this as a stop run, right? Trades right back into the bearish breaker. I get my entry in there, and I'm targeting these lows down here. As soon as price comes down and takes these lows out, I'm out of the trade, right? I know it reaches a little deeper, but like I said, it's Friday, crazy week. I got this trade done, and that basically wraps up my week. But yeah, those are the only trades that I really took live with these like with this amount of news and in this market condition. So it was very, very definitely a little difficult, right? But I was happy that I was able to pull something out for the market for this week. I don't recommend you guys doing that. Like I said, if you guys are new, just take this week as a vacay, right? Hopefully you guys did. Hopefully you guys took that word of advice, right? But yeah, that should wrap up this end of the week review of what we, you know, kind of wanted to see on our outlook, showing you guys what happened, right? Most of the things that happened on our outlook happened on Monday. Like a lot of the things we didn't expect to happen on Monday, it happened on Monday already. So there was no really midweek review just because, like I said, it was very hectic, and I didn't want you guys to want to I didn't want to put anything out there for you guys to say, hey, I want to engage in this market condition, especially when it's so volatile during this time. So I apologize for not having that midweek review, but this is the end of the week analysis to show you guys that it was a crazy week. I'm glad it's over. I'm looking forward to next week. Right. Is there anything else you want to add for them, Leo?
Yeah, I would say in market condition where the dollar is really in a range, stock not really moving anywhere, and there's a lot of news like this, I would just pin it on low probability condition and just like relax, just like study. Yeah, it would suck to get burned on a week like this and then have a good week come up and then just not have like the confidence to pull out trades in better market conditions. Yeah. Um, that's about it, really. It was a really, really crazy week, I have to agree. It was really hard to read price action, but looking at it in hindsight, definitely looks easier. But before the fact, there were a lot of 50-50 scenarios that were playing out, and the market was being really tricky. So, yeah, just be careful.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you there. A lot of 50-50s, a lot of times where you're supposed to be sidelining, right? So, like I said, apologize for no midweek review, right? But we didn't want to put anything out there that we weren't comfortable with even taking ourselves. So, just this week was just outlook and then the end of week review, right? Hopefully next week we'll go back into our beginning of the week outlook, midweek update, and then end of the week review with you guys. Where I'm looking forward to next week. I'm sure Leo is glad this week is over as well. But yeah, hope you guys had a great week. Hope you guys, didn't, if you guys did take trades, hope you guys won. If you didn't, it's okay. We'll always come back. Everyone loses, right? Looking forward for next week. So I'll see you guys in our next week outlook video on Sunday/Monday, depending on what time you guys watch it, right? Yeah, I'll see you guys then. Peace.
Take care, take care.